Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, introduce me Mardatillah from the State Islamic University Maulana Malik Ibrahim Malang, Mathematics Study Program, Class of 2022, Class B. I will present the result of the UAS answer for the Philosophy of Science course. Asking number 1. The scientific method theory. The scientific method theory. Number 1. Correspondence theory is a theory that is considered true if there is a similarity between the statement of truth and the fact. The solution is not to take the news directly without being filtered. The truth is judged by its usefulness, even though it is not in accordance with religions. For example, cloning, if it is applied to animal, is correct, but if it is applied to human, it is not possible because it causes damage to the social order. Number 2. Coherent theory. As reference from previous theory that do not conflict with previous theory. For example, judges indicating the law must comply with the law. Number 3. Pragmatic theory. That is either becomes true if they are based on reality that arises from human thinking about function and usability. So, a metaphysical statement for adherents of this view can be considered true if it has benefit in life. An example of a pragmatic theory is that true about hell. Number 4. Religious theory, namely in terms of religious values, not from certain aspect. For example, raising pig is profitable, but contrary to religions. Next, asking number 2. Man of scientific thinking. First, logic, namely the internal dialogue process by asking and answering in a logical way, so that we can know whether all expression and answer make sense or not. Example, syllogism. Our cats like to meow. Willy is a cat, so Willy likes to meow. Second, language is a system of sound symbols used by members or society to work together, internet and identification themselves. The importance of language that is without language cannot convey a good idea. Feature of scientific language. First, informative, namely scientific language expresses information or knowledge. Second, reproductive, namely the speaker or reader conveys the same information as the information received by the listener or reader. Third, descriptive, namely vague and taught in the form of statement in scientific language so that they can be tested for true or false. Next, man or of scientific thinking. Number 3, mathematics is a language that symbolizes a series of meanings from the statement we want to convey, or it is also often called the language of symbols, whose function is to simplify thinking. Next, number 4, of means of scientific thinking. Statistics is a means of thinking that to process knowledge scientifically. As part of the scientific method, statistics are used to make generalizations and conclude the characteristics of an event with greater certainty and not by chance. For example, mathematics for data analysis. Next, asking number 3. The difference between the paradigm of rationalism and the paradigm of empiricism. The rationalism paradigm holds that ratio is a source of recognition or knowledge, while empiricism holds the experience is the source. For example, before people building to design become from thought that product ideas. The empiricism paradigm is a school of philosophy that argues that empirical or experience is the source of knowledge. For example, the source of knowledge through the five senses is experience, new things beside on the time, such as smell, children, and care process. Three important things in the philosophy of science. First, in ontology is a discussion of exciting nature of problem of definition and principle. Ontology stream. Number 1, monism is divided into two, namely materialism and idealism. Number 2, dualism. The real source form two actions. Number 3, pluralism. All forms are real. Number 4, nihilism. Reality does not exist. Number 5, agnosticism. Human ability to know the nature of things is wrong. Example, philosophical study of various kinds of care. Second of three important things in the philosophy of science. Epistemology is knowledge about of knowledge, which is often called the theory of knowledge or how to get knowledge. There are three ways to get knowledge: rationalism or through reason, empirism or through experience, scientific approach or a combination of rationalism and empirism. Example from epistemology, chair-making procedure. There of three important things in the philosophy of science. Axiology is a study that has a theory of value or something that can be of value and has benefit. Example, find out how the benefits of the child. Asking number 5. The hierarchy of knowledge is the level of knowledge in seeking knowledge. Number 1. The highest level is the scientific method, namely the truth that has been tested methodically. The philosophy is there is a science. Example, someone who has an idea about something, like the idea of talking remotely, and that someone creates a tool that can make long-distance communication, for example, handphone. Number 2, logical reasoning is philosophical contemplation to know which is logical or not. Logical reasoning can be deductive. Theory is used to create a hypothesis. or inductive generalization drawn from certain observation. Number 3. Trial and error. After experimenting many times, it will be known where the error lies and can be corrected until you get in-depth knowledge. Number 4. Authority is knowledge that comes from rulers. Example, the student in the class will assume that what the teacher says is true because the teacher is considered an expert. Number 5. The lowest level in tradition, something that is obtained without effort of thought from acceptors and is immediately carried on. Example, tradition at the time of the prophet continue of perpetuate God tradition. In number 5, Islamization of science is an effort to transfer Islamic value into various fields of life, especially science. Meanwhile, the integration of Islam and science is an attempt to combine science and Islam to create a new format for the relationship between science and Islam in an effort to regulate Islamic science, which has so far been seen and non-existent, which is the background to the emergence of the Islamic of science and the integration of Islam and science to eliminate doubt about the dichotomy of Islam and science, fortify Muslims from values that are not in line with the Quran and Hadith, and create a civil society that adheres to the pillars of Islam. Example, establishing a percentage to spread Islam like this statement, Islamic University with Islamizes and integrates Islam, was signed the established a ma'had for its students. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.